Well, we have considered compromise call. We explained that compromise call is simply a maturity investigation where we try to research the present or absence of the variables of the MCR investigation part in the stage play critical moment, and we were able to really go around of it. Now we have decided to pick Mr. Sunday. We want to see whether, since he's the major character in the stage play, we want to see how much of the compromise call can we see in his lifestyle. And usually the right place to begin is to configure the MCR investigation part, and we already have critical moment. We have taken our compromise core of maturity structures. So we want to see the maturity states in Mr. Sunday. And of course, when we consider his relationship with his friend, that's a maturity state. There's a teacher and student. And of course, we'll consider his relationship with his boss and his landlord. We could see a maturity position. And of course, the situation he found himself at home, the relationship with his wife, the landlord, and the like. That is it. And we saw a conditional relationship with him. The conditional relationship was that the boss requested if he decided to flirt around with her, she will change his life or his financial status. The maturity therapy was a relationship with his friend. So we could see that. We'll move on to look at the rights. We could really find Sunday in that he is a tenant, and obviously that is a right. So we can take this. His admission into the workforce in his office, that is one thing we can see. The ritual, well, we could really say after his conversation with his friend, he decided that he is no more going back to his boss. So that's a ritual, that's a redress. Well, we didn't see any apology. He had no need for apology. And then, of course, that he was really intelligent. I remember this part in the stage play. The taunting of his landlord was that he claimed to be very smart and intelligent, and useful in the church. That suggests that he is a person of mental deposit, mental initiative, and we could see self-control in him, or mental control. We could see that in Mr. Sunday. So we'll move on. What kind of personality can we see in him when the stage play started? He was obviously a growing entity. At the end of the stage play, he became a traditionalist. But we feared that if he had gone with his boss proposal without his friend catching on him, he would have become an extremist. But he started as a growing entity, not a lost entity. And then we move on. He experienced a gift. It was a gift that he had a walk. Now we have established a destiny manifestation, as variable actually has opportunity and obligation. For every opportunity you get, there is an obligation. Or for every opportunity you have, for every privilege you have, there is definitely an obligation. But for Mr. Sunday, his work was a gift. He functioned in his office, and then the letters of promotion and the salary were reward. So that we can see in Mr. Sunday. And then we'll move on. Did he experience any test, trial, and temptation? Of course, that was what the film was all about. Did we see immaterial blessing in him? Yeah, we saw a man that is intelligent, that amount for his promotion. We see a man with material blessing. He has probably home with human blessing. He has wife, His friend too was a woman blessed with saw God. So we can take here. And then we saw more, the position wasn't like sexual, social, spiritual, but we saw a spiritual person, we saw a social person, and then we saw a sexual man. He's a married man, obviously, so we will have to take this. Then but when we go back here, the first impression Mr. Sunday will give us concerning his sexual, social, and spiritual life was a spiritual person. That they quoted scripture that he say he will not sin against God and against his wife, suggests he is a spiritual person. So move on to look at the self-esteem. Can we say he really know what he was doing at a point? Obviously, we would not be certain. Well, let's say he does know. Let's say he does know. Does he really understand? We can really take out this. Did he really appreciate what he was going on? When the movie started? No. But at the end of it, he really understood what was going on. Did he appreciate what he was passing through? Not at the time. But at the end of the film, he did. At the stage play, he did. Did he really enjoy what he was passing through? I guess he didn't. But maybe at the end of the film, we saw it. The sideman between his wife and himself. In fact, at the time when the landlord returned, at the end of the stage play, he was impressed with what he saw. Then Mr. Sunday told him that, well, here's your money, I've paid you. He paid in full. And he told him, well, they are moving into their own flat. He didn't have any reason to recall what the landlord said to him or return an insult. Definitely we could say at the end of the film he enjoyed what he went through. Or did he see what was happening to him? Saw through the boss, what do you call it, blackmail and the like. Definitely when the film started, we can see that. Did he really live a life that impressed everybody? We could take that. Did he made an impact? Yeah, we could see that if he had really gone with his boss proposal, definitely we could say he wouldn't have made an impact, but he made a positive impact, and that's why the boss could really come back to him and apologize. Well, with this, we may just have to take this last one that he saw. He saw through what he was going through. He's a better person. Yeah, perhaps that is really why I have to recommend make those points count using the MCR investigation part, a course. There we have established what it takes to do a maturity investigation at the beginning of a lifestyle, during the process of the lifestyle, and at the end of the lifestyle. But we don't seem to observe this principle and practice here, and that is why it seems that we just went around and tick for Mr. Sunday. He's the major cause, and I think that explains why we saw virtually everything on the MCR investigation part in his lifestyle. So they were not absent. We could say they are present. I cited a bit with this ability really to investigate a lifestyle. So that's to say, for us to have a lifestyle, we must really have a compromise score and a maturity score. And that says Mr. Sunday was a leading character, in that stage play, critical moment. Well, this time we are going to look at the natural lifestyle in critical moment. See you in a while. Thank you so much for following through.